Review for yet another week on this glorious Friday afternoon in the midst and the wake of the mourning of Princess Di. There has been another tragic event. Royce Sutcliffe, the founder of CTV, has passed away, and yeah, he contributed so much and contributed so long, and I just like to sit back and think for a while about that. But moving along to the rest of the show, we've got a huge show lined up, huge show. So many segments, I'm freaking out here, but we're starting off with Vegans for Christ with Caroline. And Caroline, did you want me to come on with? No? Okay, well Caroline's going on by herself there. And Film Forum with Erin, with the latest Garth from the film world. We have Webbed with Garth and Glen. Finally Glen has shown his face. And then we've got Youth in Focus with Brad and Erin. What are they talking about? I don't know, but we'll soon find out. And then we've got Dermot's segment, which some people call Sexpression, but I have a feeling he's got a new title for it this week, and sounding a little sus already, is it not? And Dermot will be bringing Amanda in once again to have a little chat. Get the picture! Get it! The picture with Paul and Zena. No idea what they're talking about, but stay tuned because that is going to be exciting. And then we've got Couch Pots, which is my favourite segment on the show, with Pablo and Glen. And Pablo's going to try and open his eyes this week. He's having a little trouble, but he'll be all right. And I'd love to hear, Pablo, what happened last week, because Glen was telling us a little something about you lying down, i.e. to get laid. But let's hear more about that later. The sports show with Michael, with the latest goss from the sports channels and all of that sporty sport. So let's get all sported up for that and sport on. And then, haha, Milligram. Actually, Milligram is probably my favourite show because I'm on it with Matthew and Zena. So that's going to be the show for this week. And a morbid show, but a good show and a long show. So we'll see you shortly. Thank you very much, and thank you, audience. Woo!
It's becoming more acceptable now, and yeah, people aren't so worried about what other people think anymore. Young people see all their favourite bands with tattoos now, so they think it's okay to, I suppose. It's a hard business to get into, but it's probably better that way, because if anyone could learn to tattoo, there'd be a lot of bad work that we have to fix up. Yeah, it is hard to get into it, but I suppose it's better that way, because it is skin you're working on, and it's not like a piece of paper where you can throw it away and try again if it doesn't work out, you know. I suppose it was hard for me in the beginning because I was a female, because when I became a tattooist, there wasn't hardly any female tattooists around, and it did take a while for people to get used to the idea. And I did get, when I was earlier in my tattoo career, a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the time, but occasionally someone would come in to get tattooed, and when they saw it as women, they go, nah, I'm going to get the man, I want the man to do me, I don't want to get no woman tattooing me.
Most people coming through think that they're in for a huge ordeal. Most piercings, when they're actually done, only take a matter of seconds to do. The anticipation and thought is a lot worse than the actual process. So once people have come in and established what's the view, they want to use
I thought that clapping was really inappropriate, seeing that this is a very touching show today, and in light of morbidly depressing topics, I want to talk about sex. And not just plain sex, because, you know, how disgusting is it? I'm talking about whether sex is actually equated with love, whether the two have absolutely anything to do with each other. And if I could, I would read, I would speak like this, but I've written something so good that I'm going to have to read it straight off a piece of paper. Okay, for the vast majority of people, sex is a regular part of life, or so they hope. But for a lot of people as well, in its purest form, it's equated with love. However, I would like to say today, or suggest moreover, that it is entirely the responsibility of society. The reason we equate love and sex together, it's purely because of society and not because of anything innate within us. And like, sex just has to be carried out, like, you know, eating the right amount of protein, or, you know, like, you know, it's just it's a habit that has to fulfill certain chemical needs in order to survive. And it's got absolutely nothing to do with, you know, emotions. Anyway, scientist David Suzuki, which we all love, well, I do, love as in like, I just have to clear that up. Yeah, David Suzuki, he, in this documentary called The Brain, he spoke about what love was chemically, what it's composed of. And basically what happens is there's, in your nasal passages, there's these glands, and they pick up the scent. No, like, this is serious. They pick up the scent in your body of, they pick up other people's scent, and that instigates a chemical reaction in your brain. And in your brain, there is released noradrenaline, serotonin, and ephemerine. And that's why when you're in love, you get these, like, racing heartbeats and flushed face, and, like, you feel like you're floating on air when it's actually chemicals pumping through your brain, as opposed to, like, you know, there's this really great person. And what it does is it floods your brain so much that it blocks off the reasoning parts of your brain, which are here, I believe, or perhaps here, but I think they're here. And what happens is they block out this, and that's why you're like, oh my God, they're so wonderful, and like, you know, you can't see beyond like the huge wart that they have on their nose and things like that. And what happens is when finally those chemicals run out in your mind, it goes back to the reasoning part of your brain. And if your brain can reason out that you still love them, then you still love them. And if not, then you go, what did I ever see in them? But that's just like the background knowledge, and this is the real issue. As a result of knowing that, you know, love is entirely chemically induced by nasal passage glands, you'd have to say that sex and love are purely hedonistic, like, you know, they're just for fulfillment, just like, you know, shoving your face with flans and chocolate cake, or like for guys it's like masturbating, like, you know, you just have to do it, basically. No, like it's true. Well, not that I know. Hold on. And then, yeah, okay, and so and things like sharing and caring and loving your partner, that's not at all to do with like, you know, you actually want to give them something. That's like your down payment or insurance, so you get sex later on and love. So you have these chemicals continually going through your brain. So basically it's like being a heroin addict, not to put it like down. And that's why monogamy is so good, because it's a guaranteed route of life. And anyway, okay, these are my arguments. Well, actually, they're not my arguments. Love, like, was apparently in ancient Greece, love was created in order to keep the masses. Let me start again. Democracy was a word originated by the Greeks, in which 2% of society were the citizens and the rest of them were just peasants. Basically, to keep these peasants at bay, society created love in order for them to be like, concentrating on each other as opposed to real life, you know, so they wouldn't overthrow the government. They had a partner to beat up instead. And anyway, yeah, so people like, and that's carried on to now, people are so concentrating on boyfriends and love and things like that, that, you know, they don't think that, you know, their food rations are being shortened and that Medicare is being cut and that Rupert Murdoch owns the whole of television. And basically, they don't concentrate on the real issues in life and the meaning of life, which is pure truth, absolute knowledge, and ultimate understanding, which very few people have. No, I haven't finished. The only problem is that after like attaining absolute knowledge and truth, a lot of people commit suicide, so they don't experience life, nor do they experience love. And true love doesn't only, I apologize, true love doesn't exist. It's merely chemical satisfaction and pure infatuation. The purest of relationships comes from intellectual bonds and is entirely removed, if not entirely ruined, by sexual activity. Like, you know, you don't love your family. I mean, you love your family, but you wouldn't have sex with your father, just like you love your pet dog, but you wouldn't have sex with that, you know? I think, okay, like, no, like, when it comes down to it, sex should be left for prostitutes, and love should be left for your family and pets, and, you know, and a few friends. But they should be entirely removed from each other, because basically, you know, sex is animalistic, debased, like, unnatural. No, it's so natural that it's vulgarly natural, and, you know, if people think about this really, like, they won't just think I'm mental, like, they'll actually think that it's real, you know. Sex is absolutely disgusting, and that's why nuns are so great. I went to a Catholic school. Yeah. This is a quote by a very intelligent human being called Sasha Ettinger Epstein. Life is a sexually transmitted disease. But yeah. Yeah, not very. Yeah, no one's even paying attention to it. No, I haven't finished. Yes, I actually have. Yeah. Like, what? Someone can have sex with people they don't love, and that just proves that you don't even have to have sex with people that you do love, because it's just, you know, people should have sex every so often. Hey, excuse me, like, this is real. People should have sex every so often just to satisfy their chemical urges, perhaps once a year, and then that should be it. Okay, but that's all. I'd like to finish up now. That was so depressing. Yay! Okay. That went so bad.
Hello!
Oh, yeah.
I've got a few things to say. firstly, I was having a chat with Caroline earlier this morning about sex and love, and we were having a chat to the makeup artist. Oh, thank you, makeup artists, for a fantastic job. Please, a round of applause. Yeah. We realised that it should be, by right, a law that if you have sex with a prostitute, you should love the prostitute. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I'll let you decide. But one other little thing before I head you on to Erin of Film Review. I'd just like to say, life... Oh, this is actually a quote by a very famous and intellectual person, namely Justin, Sergei, Alexei, Vronsky, Sinclair, Audrey, Leonard, Freiberger, Malinowski. Life is but a mere tragedy. And with that, Film Forum. Thank you very much.
Trying to say something about me, I think. Welcome to Film Forum for another week. 3 films to talk about tonight. 2 terrific Australian films and 1 big Hollywood blockbuster. I'll start with the best first and tell you about a film that started this week, an Australian film called Kiss or Kill, which stars Frances O'Connor, who was in Love and Other Catastrophes and some other things, and Matt Day, who was also in that film. It's directed by a guy called Bill Bennett, a very interesting and talented Australian filmmaker. He's worked a lot in documentary and also made a very interesting film in the 80s called Backlash, before going over to Hollywood and making a film called 2If by Sea with Sandra Bullock and Dennis Leary, a film that he wasn't very happy with. He was kind of screwed around a lot by the Hollywood studio system, so he came back to Australia to just do his own thing and make the kind of films that he wants to make. He's come up with Kiss or Kill, which is a real kind of mixture of various genres. It's part road movie, part thriller, part romance. There's kind of a bit of everything in this film. The story is about a young couple played by Frances O'Connor and Matt Day, who are a pair of con artists that find themselves in trouble with the law, and they hit the road to try and get away from the cops. Along the way, there's a series of murders, and the couple isn't sure if one or the other may actually be committing these murders. So it's a very tense, a real tightrope of a situation. You as the viewer don't know who the killer is or what's really going on. So for the whole film, there's a great sense of unease and tension, and Bill Bennett, I think, has maintained this with incredible skill. This is made even more interesting by the fact that the film was shot using only a 60-page treatment. There was no dialogue actually written. The entire film was improvised by the actors, which when you see it gives the film a really fantastic kind of spontaneity and rawness which you don't often see in films. And I think it's a real testament to the actors as well as Bill Bennett, the director, that they've actually come up with such a good film filled with such interesting dialogue. It's a real collaborative effort, this film, and I'm hoping that it will be kind of the next Australian hit film in the line of Muriel's Wedding and films like that. It's a lot darker and more violent, but I think it has a broad commercial appeal and really deserves to kind of get a large audience. So Kiss or Kill for me, great film, very entertaining. Also, when you're watching it, notice that there's no music used in the film, only natural sound, which Bill Bennett has really, I think, obviously set out to challenge himself with this one, letting his actors improvise and not being able to fall back on the rather kind of easy device of music to set the mood. He lets the actors and the film do it by themselves. So it's great, admirable stuff, and a really good film, as well as O'Connor and Matt Day. It has a whole cast of Australian favourites like Barry Otto and Chris Haywood, Max Cullen, lots of people you know and love. So it's really worth seeing, and out of $12 I'm going to give Kiss or Kill 11. It's very good indeed, so do go out and see it. Another Australian film which started this week, a very different type of film, is a movie called Year of the Dogs, a film I saw at the Sydney Film Festival a couple of months ago, and a film that really blew me away. commissioned by the ABC. It's a documentary about the, I can't remember what team it is, the Footscray. What's the Western Bulldogs? Was Footscray? Yeah, about the Western Bulldogs before they were the Western Bulldogs, when they were Footscray, and their kind of nightmare season where they got pasted by every team in the competition and were threatened with, you know, being disbanded, merged with other teams, all players facing pay cuts. Basically every nightmare that a football club could undergo. The filmmakers were somehow led into every aspect of the Footscray Football Club. We see players, managers, coaches, the lot, and see some really incredible backbiting that goes on behind the scenes, which, you know, even for people that aren't enthusiasts of Aussie rules, I don't think it'll matter, because this film has enough humour, intrigue, excitement, passion in it, you know, to really satisfy anyone. It's been shot on video, but you know, it's such a great piece of filmmaking that's totally irrelevant. The cast of characters, obviously all people from real life, are fantastic, interesting characters, and it's paced beautifully, looks at the game from all angles, and, you know, is a must for any AFL fan, and basically a must for anyone that likes film, and in particular documentaries. This is kind of a documentary that you could put alongside things like Rats in the Ranks. It's not quite as good as Rats in the Ranks, which is an absolute classic of an Australian doco, but it does come very, very close. So Year of the Dogs is a must, classic. It's showing, I think it's on at Hoyt and the Chauvel, so it's pretty close by, so there's no excuse not to see it. So check it out. Trust me, you will really like this film. And out of $12, I'll give this the same as Kiss or Kill. I'll give this an 11 as well. It's very good. Don't miss it. A film far less interesting, far less inspiring than those two, but getting about 7 million times as much publicity, unfortunately, is a film called Men in Black, which I'm sure you wouldn't have been able to kind of not hear about, considering the push it's been getting. This is the big, I think anyway, the really big blockbuster to come out of Hollywood this year, and, you know, it's made $7 billion or something, and it's
240.
Yep. Thanks for that. I didn't really care how much money it had actually made, but I'm sure some people would. You know, which goes to prove, once again, not that you really needed any proof, that most films that make, what was it, $240 million, they're usually pretty crappy. Men in Black is, you know, basically I was watching this film and I thought, I'm watching a TV show, because that's what it was like. Apparently it cost $90 million to make, and I couldn't see a lot of it on the screen. I went into this film expecting a kind of mind-blowing, eye-popping science fiction extravaganza filled with fantastic special effects and great alien creatures and all kinds of bewildering stuff. But what I got instead was a rather lukewarm, slight film that has a few good ideas, admittedly some good performances from Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith and Linda Fiorentino, but a very, very slight premise, and it's not supported by the few good ideas that it does have. It's just not a very good film, actually. There's not a lot I can say about it. It's just exactly the kind of film that just doesn't inspire anything. It's not bad enough to get excited about, but it's not good enough to get excited about. It's a classic portrait of Hollywood mediocrity, which I think is something that we see too often these days. I mean, so many great films do come out of Hollywood, but so many awful ones come out as well, and they're usually the most popular, which is a bit disturbing. So Men in Black felt to me like a pilot for a TV series. It's on a par with something like Buck Rogers in the 25th century. It's just bland, uninteresting cinema and nothing at all to get excited about. So go and see one of the two Australian films instead of going and seeing this, because it's not worth it. Trust me, it really isn't. so many. Also, I must say, without the end credits, which run for about 10 minutes, this film probably goes for about 80 minutes. So it's not even really good value in terms of running time. I just thought I'd add that and try and dissuade you again from seeing the film. So out of $12, I mean, I wouldn't give it a really low score because it's just a real average film. So I think I'll give it $5 out of 12. That's about what it's worth. It's short. It's kind of, you know, it's just the sort of film you don't want to see. There's a lot of better stuff out there, so, you know, find that instead. That's all for tonight. I will be back soon, next week, I think. Hopefully with a lot of interesting and exciting films to talk about, and I'll see you then.
Well, thank you, Erin. Speaking of Men in Black, for those Will Smith lookalikes, head down to the Booty Bar tonight, where you can win a soundtrack for Men in Black if you look most like him. So right now we've got a tape called Two Fish, and we'll see you after that with Zena. So see you soon. Thank you.
welcome to Get the Picture. I'm Zena, and I have a special guest here tonight called Paul Mason. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Zena.
Hello. Paul coordinates the National Students Film and Video Festival, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Paul, tell us how that began.
Well, it's obviously a student film festival that takes entries from all around Australia. It started a few years ago when some of the students at Sydney University, where I work, screened some films that they'd made, and then called a few friends in Melbourne and got some of their films, and decided that having films from New South Wales and Victoria constituted a national film festival.
Excellent.
So it was a bit cheeky of them, but sort of as a result, interest has sort of increased dramatically over the past few years, and because I work at the Students' Union there, I sort of coordinate it now for them.
Right, okay. And tell us about last year. What happened last year? There were quite a lot of entries.
Yeah,
becoming quite big.
Yeah, that was the first year that I'd worked on it, and we promoted it through the networks of student unions around Australia, and it was quite successful with the promotion. We had a lot of entries, and
I believe 100 entries.
Yeah, about 100. Yeah, which was
except from Tasmania, I believe.
For some reason, no one in Tasmania entered. Yes. Very strange. So
and what's the promotion like? So it's quite promoted all over Australia?
Yeah, it's all sort of focused. No, it's all
national.
Focused on campuses, around Australia and TAFEs, places like that. Yeah.
Right.
So if you're out there and you're a student and you're making a film, this is a good competition to enter.
Okay.
Truckloads of prizes.
Yes. What's the criteria? I believe that it's not everyone that can go into it. You have to be from a university.
You have to be not necessarily a university.
Me.
You can be a student at a TAFE or any sort of tertiary institution.
So you have to be a student.
You have to be a student.
That excludes me.
And more importantly, when you're a student, you have to be a member of a students' union. It's run by student unions. It's administered by student union money. So basically, if you're not in a student union, we don't sort of accept your entry.
Oh, I see. So, but if you go to uni, you'd be a member of the student union?
In most states except Victoria and Western Australia, where they're moving towards voluntary student unionism, and that's, as far as we're concerned, a bad thing, because that's typical of the sort of approach that the current federal government are taking.
Oh,
and
I see.
So we are anti-scabbing and anti-sort of non-unionists, so be a member of your student union.
Okay, and when's the closing date for the Film and Video Festival?
It's coming up very soon, in fact, next Friday.
Oh, okay,
so
next Friday.
If you've got a film lying around and you're a student, bash it into us. We're at the University of Sydney.
And it is every year, so if you miss out this year, of course, you can prepare for next year. You'll have lots of months ahead of you to get a really good film.
You sure can, yeah.
Okay, and is there a special theme for
No, we don't.
to enter?
We don't sort of require people to have any theme in there or any specific image that they have. We just want to give an overview of student filmmaking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And do you get quite explicit films? Sexual films?
Saucy films?
Saucy films?
Ooh, yes, there are occasionally, a few saucy films come through.
Excellent. I'd like to
Students
see
being
one of
what
those.
they are. Perhaps you could come and judge the saucy section this year.
Oh, I'd like to. I'm very good at that kind of stuff. But, so, you've brought a film for us to see. Hopefully it's a saucy one, is it?
No, not particularly saucy. Brought a couple. There's a music video that we're able to play, which is by a woman called Vera Hong, who sort of scooped the pool last year. She won 2 different sections.
Wow.
The competition's divided into sections.
It's a film clip?
Yeah, film clip for a band that she writes the music for, sings in, and makes the film clips, and it's appropriately called Ego. And it's not bad. It sort of reminds me of Tricky or something like that. So.
Oh, it's that kind of music.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go to that now.
Okay.
And check that out. We'll see you in a few moments. Enjoy the film.
You tell me it's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. I've seen you before, hanging round my door, wanting to please so you think you're gonna score. It's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. Ooh, hanging round my door, wanting my love, wanting it more. You and me, you and me, my baby. Love me, you, baby. You tell me it's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. I've seen you before, hanging round my door, wanting to please, so you think you're gonna score. It's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. Ooh, hanging round my door, wanting my love, wanting it more. Be around you, so I see you and you. Can we go do sex and love you, maybe you'll be high. You tell me it's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. I've seen you before, hanging round my door, wanting to please, so you think you're gonna score. It's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. Ooh, hanging round my door, wanting my love, wanting it more. You tell me it's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. I've seen you before, hanging round my door, wanting to please, so you think you're gonna score. It's coincidence that you're here. You tell me it's coincidence that I'm there. Ooh, hanging round my door, wanting my love, wanting it more.
Welcome back. You just saw a film from last year who won. That was called Ego by.
By the band's called the band's called Ego, and the song's called Coincidence. So,
There you go.
And the woman's called Vera Hong, and she won 2 different sections in last year's
And so
festival.
she should.
Yeah.
She's quite talented. Definitely.
And she's from Macquarie University.
Macquarie University.
There you
I have
go.
a friend that goes there. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of that, the films, so where do you enter? At your own university? Is that how you do it?
Your university or your TAFE or wherever you are should have an entry form.
Right.
If you haven't got one there, they should know how to find me. I'm at the University of Sydney Students' Union, and they can get one, and I can send it out to you next week. And we'll be flexible with the deadline for
Oh,
latecomers.
excellent.
Yes.
And is there a certain time that it has to be in? 4-minute film, 5-minute film?
All right. The maximum length is 25 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we
You
allow
can make
people.
a very long porno with that. Yes. Okay, so after judging and everything, where will that be filmed? Where will people get to? Will people get to see
Yeah. We have
non-winners?
Yeah.
We get to see non-winners.
We have a general sort of screenings and awards. They all happen on October the 22nd at the Chevelle Cinema in Sydney.
Oh, fantastic.
So during the day, what we do is we screen most of what we receive. Although if we receive a hell of a lot, we probably won't. But we'll receive as much as we'll screen as much as we can. Yeah. And then the winners and the runners-up in each of the categories get screened at night from 7 o'clock.
Fantastic.
There's a bit of an award ceremony. Comedian Adam Spencer will be emceeing, and it's just a top night out. And then the best of the festival get repackaged and toured around campuses next year. So it'll go all around Australia.
Oh, fantastic.
This year's best of went, to Darwin, down to Tasmania, out to Perth.
So all unis get to see other unis' talents, see what's
unis,
going on.
TAFEs, everyone, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so we do have another film coming up,
Yeah.
and that's the Adelaide last Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. Yes.
There you go. So we'll play that. And how long does that go for?
I don't know how much of it we're going to see. It's quite a long one, but it's in segments, so we might see a couple of the segments.
And this is your choice?
This was my choice, yeah. It was a
Excellent.
runner-up in the documentary section, but I thought it was really funny. It's all vox pops, and it's just motor sort of enthusiasts and rev heads speaking for themselves.
Yes, my brother and his friends.
Sounds like it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, your neighbours. Very familiar. Actually, I wanted to know, what are the prizes?
The prizes, yeah.
What are the biggies?
The
Is it
biggies.
money?
There
it
is money,
cameras?
yeah. There's money. There's no actual equipment. What we provide is film and equipment hire. Companies like Limac and Awesome Support, production companies, sort of donate, equipment hire and use of their resources. And then organisations like the New South Wales Film and TV Office and some of the other universities around the place all contribute cash, which we then give away as prizes. So
$5,000, couple $100.
in the $500 to $1,500 sort of range
Fair
for
enough.
prizes.
It's better than
so
nothing.
It's not too bad. We generally try and help people get a start on making their next film. That's the idea
Yeah,
behind it.
excellent.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you miss out this year. You can start now and get the best film ever and enter next year.
Absolutely.
Is that
You've got
right?
12 months to make a
And if you're
cracker.
not in uni or TAFE like I am, you can got time to
Join up
join up.
really quickly.
Yeah, just for this, for the film and video festival. Well, I'd like to thank you very much
Well,
for coming on the
thanks
show
for having me, yeah.
and telling us about the National Students Film and Video Festival. And we might as well go to the
Adelaide's Last Grand Prix by Michael Combombakis from Adelaide.
Thank you very much.
it's great. I love it. It's the best job you could have. Working outside, it's not like in a factory or on a construction site. It's terrific.
Well, the job and money side didn't really come into it because there's that much fun in building it, you know, and seeing it start from just basic parklands and roads to what you see today, major construction, and it's been good.
When I was in Belfast, people knew where Adelaide was. Before that, they didn't.
I'm travelling around Australia and have been lucky enough to get a job at the last Adelaide Grand Prix cleaning seats. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of seats, but it's great to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of people trying to jump fences. Some of their excuses range from they can't find a gate to go in to we walked out the gate and we lost our tickets, now we need to get back in again.
You see some deviant things in the parklands.
We found a few people manipulating themselves in various ways, in various places, and completely oblivious to whatever was going on around them. I mean, they just kept hard at it.
One lunatic used to run around in a boiler suit.
But then you find after the concert, you find them up in the trees. And I suppose what it did is it started out as a good vantage point to watch the concert, and it ended up a good enough reason just to consummate the relationship, I suppose. There is a better way of putting it.
One year we were doing some of the coloured bars down on Stag Corner, and they were extremely wet, and an inline skater come roaring around the corner, hit these and took off and fell down into another great big heap of paint covered with all blue paint all over him.
It's just a big family, and everyone works together.
25,000 to go.
Oh, yeah?
It's a bit back-breaking, but hey, it's a lot of fun.
It's the atmosphere. I just love the fun. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's fun, isn't it?
Being an official, we get given a set of earplugs every morning when we sign on and that, and not knowing what to expect and that, I put them in the first morning when the Formula One's fired up, and I thought, no, I don't need these earplugs. I pulled them out, and I thought, come on, let's be honest, guys, you can't hear a V8 or a V10 Formula One out there doing 14,000 revs with a set of earplugs in. I just had a ball.
The highlight for me last year was when all the guys with McLaren came out with their new fire helmets on. I don't know if you saw those, but they were like old fireman's helmets, and they were bright chrome with a face shield on, and it just looked excellent. I mean, with their red outfits, they all came rushing out and sort of like service a car and they went racing in. It was a real highlight.
I'll be sitting at home watching the TV and shedding a tear or two, I think, as it comes to an end.
Hello and welcome to Youth in Focus. Tonight I have with me Brad Roberts, who is the cultural planner for the Broadway Shopping Centre, which you may have noticed is just near Glebe on Broadway, obviously. About a year ago, Brad came in and told us about this unique shopping centre and the way in which the planners of the centre have been consulting with community groups on its development. Do you want to just give us a quick wrap-up of what you told us when you were in first?
Sure. Well, basically last time I just went through the process of when the development when the developers were looking at putting that development there. There was quite a strong representation from community to make sure that some of the community considerations were looked at, from youth issues to shopping services for the elderly, pensioner discounts, childcare things, parking, of course, all the issues that they'd normally pick up. But basically we went through a series of negotiations and meetings with council and direct with the developers, and as a condition of the development getting approved, there was about 50 odd community considerations that had to be put in place. I was involved in those negotiations because I was working at a youth centre in the local in Glebe, and then it might sound a bit of a coincidence, even though it wasn't, but I left and went and did a few things for myself for a few months and was approached to pull the whole thing together. And so I didn't exactly like what they, the way they were sort of looking at it. So I just said, well, look, I'll put a bit of a package together. I've had a bit of a think about this, and I'll put a package together and see what you think. And they said, okay, we like it, do it. So that was, as you say, that was, you know, I've sort of been on basically full time since the start of the year, and we've been, you know, we've taken it from there. And basically, I'm given the title of cultural planner, which is the first time that a shopping centre has ever had a cultural planner, as far as we know. And I suppose I'll talk about, you know, the role of that in a sec, but that's just basically the background.
So where's it at now? What kind of stage have they, like initially you went in as a sort of consulting on it, are you now like a full part of what's happening? I mean...
Yeah, I'm pretty much, you know, I get good access to the people that are making the decisions. My brief is quite broad. What I've done in that time, and what I've basically done, is what I've put in that proposal, in that I've developed in consultation with community groups and with the developers, the builders, the architects council, police. We've developed what has become the Broadway Shopping Centre there we go, slip of the tongue, Broadway Shopping Centre community policy, and that policy will management for the shopping centre, because it doesn't open, it opens in March, middle of March next year, but management come on board about the end of November, and that'll be a document that I'll work, you know, with them to get them up to speed on it. Basically, that document has 3 areas, and that's youth and youth sort of policies and issues, cultural policies and cultural issues, and also local employment strategies and policies. And so that's in an ongoing sense we're developing that, and we're pretty excited. It's got an incredible amount of interest from around Australia and also overseas, because it's so unique and it hasn't happened before. And you know, that interest has come from community organisations, from shopping centres, from researchers, universities and the like. So it's actually a pretty amazing thing to be involved in. It's quite pioneering, and in one way that's good because no one can tell you that you're on the wrong track, but in the other way, if it doesn't work, well, your head rolls, sort of thing.
So how did it, I mean, it is something of a first. I mean, it's not actually the done thing for, you know, developers, property developers, especially of things like shopping centres, to actually take on board in a very serious manner the opinions of community groups. I mean, what really started the ball rolling with this? Whose idea was, I suppose you can't really pinpoint it, but I mean, basically, I mean, where did this idea come from to really consult with community?
Well, basically from the community. I mean, that's where it grew from. It was the community in you know, a couple of years ago that first started saying, well, you know, yeah, okay, we need a supermarket, but there's a lot more that we need. And I was just fortunate to be in a position where, you know, through my employment, I was quite actively involved in that community and with various representative groups and individuals. So, given that, and given that shopping centres, that, you know, I was, you know, coordinating the youth centre in Glebe, and the shopping centre is basically at its back door, and shopping centres, or young people seem to have a problem with shopping centres, not really shopping centres having a problem with young people. And so we took it from a different angle and said, well, what about these things? Did a lot of consultation, looked at other shopping centres where, you know, there was a lot of problems with young people, and we said, well, how about you guys take a proactive response to this, and instead of putting security guards in after the fact, what about looking at youth workers going in there? What about looking at putting some money into it so that there's budgets to do things, and on a broad level, and having a bit of a sort of an inclusive approach with the community rather than an exclusive one, which is normally the case with shopping centres. And unfortunately, a lot of big business operates like that, you know, they just sort of think that if they buy a patch of turf, that they can do what they want.
Right.
It's been very interesting for me. I don't have a business background, and through my position I have to work very closely, and, you know, it's been a huge learning curve for me in terms of working in that environment. I've worked for the last 15 years in community organisations, but at the same time I find it very refreshing, and to work in that in terms of how decisions are made. What I've realised is that they are very dependent on outside information, whether that be through a marketing firm or through statistical research or demographics or whatever. They don't really know too much. They're very good at building buildings and making dollars out of them, but they can add value to a lot of what they do. And certainly Walker Corporation, who's the developer on this one, is very much encouraging and very supportive of it, but at the same time is keeping a very close eye on it,
Right.
as are a lot of other developers. I mean, this gives them, in a way, it gives them a niche.
Mm.
And there's, you know, it's not that these people give money for nothing. They, I believe, and it's a very hard question to answer, why do they do it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we know why that. You know, I've sort of explained why the community got involved, because there was a need, but why did they need to do it? Well, they didn't. They didn't need to go to that extent to get the DA through, that's for sure, and we all knew that, and they knew that at the time. But I think they very much realised early on that it would give them a potential to grab a market and use that in promotional and PR work that showed them with a sort of a community face. And that's really important. It might sound sceptical or whatever, but certainly you know, from my experience working with them, everyone sort of wondered what I was doing there for the first few months. But once we got the ball rolling and everyone had sort of, you know, sorted out the bumps and suspicions, it's been going really well.
So what have they actually, in terms of viewers of the show, I mean, what are they actually going to be doing for the youth of the community in terms of what's going to be inside and around the shopping centre?
Sure. Well, that can be addressed in a number of ways. In terms of physical things, what they'll be doing, there'll be a youth worker employed there. There'll also be a youth and community liaison manager whose brief will be to look at the community issues and the community concerns, including youth and youth issues and concerns, and to provide support to that youth worker. There will also be a budget given direct to that youth worker, which isn't dependent on the marketing budget or whatever, or promotional budget. It's a separate budget. There's also money that will be given to council on an annual basis for youth activities and youth programs and the like, not in the shopping centre, but just to encourage youth activities in the local area. So that'll be done, as well as a community sponsorship program. We're hoping that will be developed as well when centre management come on board. As a lot of these things have to be approved by centre management.
Yeah.
We can develop a document and say this, that and the other, but at the end of the day, they're the guys that are going to be implementing it. And it's really important, and my role, when management's appointed, it will be to walk them through it and show that there's a value to it and sort of educate them in doing it. Getting directly back to your question, in those physical things, there's a community auditorium is being built and fitted out and provided and given over to the community, as well as a large plaza sort of activity area. So that'll be there. There's a sort of a youth space design that we've designed within the shopping centre that's quite a good area. It's not out of sight, out of mind. I think it'll be quite comfortable. And their youth worker and youth and community liaison managers, they have offices, of course, as well. But it goes further than that. It goes into looking at issues of security, into providing people-focused training to security guards, looking at the dress sense of security guards, looking at the methods that security engage to control people within the shopping centre. We're looking at all of that. So there'll be there'll be a sort of a broad range of benefits, if you like. There's also the opportunity for young people to directly participate in the decisions that are made with regard to the youth and community provisions that will be provided. There's a community committee that's been set up that has representation from council, from young people and from youth organisations and other community organisations. So that sort of keeps a bit of a monitoring role on it as well. So it's quite broad. It's quite broad, and it would be ridiculous just to throw a youth worker in there with a couple of bucks and expect them to do backflips. It's got to be a holistic approach. We're looking at training for tenants in the shopping centre, and most importantly, which is very much youth focused as well, is the local employment strategy that we're developing. The community will benefit incredibly. There's a very large Department of Housing estate directly adjacent to it, and there's also a quite high unemployment rate in the area, long-term unemployed and also young people. So by adopting and getting the big tenants, the Coles Myer group basically, they've expressed support, informal support for our proposals at this stage. We haven't got into the meat on it yet, but I think that that of the 1,500 jobs that'll be there, I'm pretty confident that a lot of them will be filled by people that do come from the local area.
Will they be making that kind of effort
That
directly
commitment.
to recruit from the community?
Well, we're involved in setting it all up, and as I say, it's another one of these things. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's important that we focus on getting the management, when they're appointed, up to speed to understand the benefits of all these things, and therefore to contribute in that process of actually bringing the whole thing together. So that's really important. It's an approach that was used before the first barrow of cement was poured, and hopefully it'll continue, for a long time yet in terms of the actual shopping centre and the operation of the shopping centre. So there's with the employment, there's ongoing direct benefits back to the community if you can address some of the fundamental problems in the area of unemployment, which is a very big one. The shopping centre and tenants realise that there is a value to that as well, in that they can, people that live close to work generally turn up on time. There's always the economic side that we have, that I have to debate as well to the decision makers, because that's how they base their decisions. So they've gone into it with an open mind. At the same time, it has to be valued. They won't just throw money at something that isn't giving a return. They'll do $1 million fit out for a shop that pays $2 million a year rent for sure. But this is an add-on, and we see it as a very important one, and hopefully by the time the centre is open, it won't be an add-on, it'll just be part and parcel of the centre.
Right. So just wrapping up, when does it actually open, and what can local residents expect to actually see there?
Well, it opens at the moment. It seems to be wanting to open it on about the 18th of March. Everything's on track, but the actual day is yet to be chosen. I'm involved in putting a community-focused program together for the opening part, which includes representation from the Darug and Eora tribes that originally were from this area, Aboriginal tribes, and they will be very much involved in that ceremony. After all, it's their land that it's on. And we'll also be having a lot of community activities, and through those, the first couple of weeks of opening, including the big event itself, and that'll be interesting. Hopefully, CTV will get a crew out there as well, and we'll make sure you can get some exclusive shots.
So we'll leave it there, but you'll be back sometime soon to give us kind of an update on how things are going and what's happening at the Broadway Shopping Centre. Yeah, I just want to make one final point, or a couple of points. Firstly, there's not going to be any McDonald's in there, there's not going to be any Kentucky Fried in there, there's not going to be any Pizza Hut in there, there's not going to be any Burger King or... Marlboro? Well, I think Marlboro will probably be in there. I don't know as a shop, but probably as a product. But a lot of those things aren't happening down there. That wasn't something that the community, that there was they said you can't have this. It was something that was said from the start, we don't want it. So that's not in. So if you want that, you better not go there. And the other thing I want to say is Royce Sutcliffe. I know it's been mentioned before. I've got the opportunity at the moment of chairing CTV, which is a very interesting task. But Royce was the one that kicked it all off, and I think that it's really important to remember people that do innovative things like Royce. We all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. We've got the ball coming up on Thursday. That'll probably get a bit of a promo later on, but I think that'd be a good opportunity for people to get together to recognise that person, and it'll sort of be a bit of a meeting of the souls, if you like, because of Royce's passing. Okay. Thanks very much, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I work at the Mid-City Centre, which is a shopping arcade in the city, and I work at a store called Dick Smith, which you may have heard of, and I wear a shirt and tie, and I look all nice and smart and dapper, so to speak. Yeah, so I say hi to the security guards. Hi man, how's it going? Yeah, catch you later. And one day I went in to go and pick up some batteries when I was off duty, and I went in my plain clothes with, you know, jeans and dog collar, just the usual. And the security guards came up to me, like I knew them, and they go, "We don't want your kind in here. Get out." Is that what we want? Is that what we want in a skateboard ramp? I mean, a shopping centre. But
when you're spending your money, you don't want feral crap.
when you're spending your money, you don't want feral crap. Listen, what we've got now is a tape that is the last interview with Royce, and as you know, he passed away yesterday, 2 a.m. in the morning, and he was interviewed by Nick Testoni last year, and yeah, do watch this. Here it is. Thank you.
G'day, now did we all enjoy that funky musical experience? I was kind of getting on down to it here. We really enjoyed it. It's cool music. Thanks, Mr. DJ.
All right, then.
All right, now what we've got now is a bit of an info segment, and what we're going to look at is the origins of CTV, how it was founded, and the role that it plays today. And we've got Royce with us here, who's going to talk a bit about how it all came about. Royce, I believe you actually initiated CTV way back when?
Oh, way back when? 8 years ago, something like that. Just to tell the story briefly, but I tried to do exactly the same thing when I was living in England. Then, in those days, cable was very tightly controlled. And we got a word from the minister, or actually the department, saying that what we planned to do, just to cable across a room, to show pictures across a room, like this was treason. Would you believe? And so we thought we'd better think of something else. Anyway, I got back to Australia all these years later, and then saw the high-rises down in Waterloo. And I thought, well, the same thing occurred to me. If you've got a high-rises with the master antenna at the top, which is what they do, you know, they just they're all plugged into this one master antenna system, then you've got the potential for cable. You know, because all the people that are on that cable system within that building, and with other buildings, if you want to link them up, has the potential of receiving cable television. Now,
and what was involved in actually setting it up? How did the process come about? What did you have to do?
Oh, that was agony.
Was it?
Absolute agony.
You can reveal now 8 years on and a driving success. 8 years ago wasn't the way, hey? What happened? How was it?
Well, what happened was, first of all, I had a lot of trouble with the Department of Housing, because they kept on saying, no, it can't be done, it won't work, it won't, and I said, it works, for Christ's sake. Just give me the keys to the head end and I'll prove it. Because there was a big battle going on over the silly little room up there, and all the junctions for all the cable places and all the flats and things all come into that one box, you know. And I said, well, give me the keys and I'll prove it. So that finally I got the keys, and I got somebody, I wouldn't do it myself, but I got somebody to come in and do it. You know, somebody more knowledgeable than I am. He just stuck it in and away we went.
Okay, great. And what were some of the aims and objectives back then? What did you hope for CTV? What were your kind of your plans?
Well, I didn't really hope that much for CTV in itself. CTV is just a tool. You know, it's there for people to use. If people want to use it, fine, great. You know, that's what it's there for. That's what it's all about. But the other thing is that it also means that
well, you're talking before about the information rich and the information poor. Is
yeah,
that what
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
How does that
well,
work?
That's one of the things that disturbed me. Right. One of the reasons why I set up CTV1, if you think of it logically, then it's always disturbed me that you can get people who are information rich and information poor. And this is happening more and more now than ever before. For instance, Optus here, they're cabling up the whole of the area, we know all about that, but they're not cabling up these buildings.
Right, so that's the role for CTV then, to kind of step in.
Well, no, it's the role of CTV1 to say, you know, we will not have this. To be more radical about it and say, you know, why should they get it and we don't?
Sure.
You know, we should have the option at least.
Okay. And briefly, how does it make you feel now, seeing it 8 years on, and the numbers kind of thriving, the residents enjoying it, and you know, camera crews from other networks coming in here to film? How do you feel about that?
I think great. Mm. Yeah. But we've still got a long way to go because the laws are not in place to control cable. Cable is a monster.
Right.
It's a monster.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Thanks, Royce. Tim Rainey is the senior administrator here at CTV, and briefly, how would you describe your role, Tim? What does it involve?
Very domestic, actually. In fact, that's probably what people don't see a lot of, is actually with the work that I do as administration, or when I was doing administration up to just last year. That is, you just spend a lot of time on the phone, looking after all the paperwork, contacting people, liaising with people, keeping people happy, keeping all the producers happy, keeping the board happy, keeping the management people happy, keeping the local government authorities happy, the Department of Housing happy. And I should say, though, that the Department of Housing and South Sydney Council are now good supporters of the station. There was a little bit of a few ripples in the water when it first started, but basically these all ironed out after a while.
Do you think that's a result of the residents becoming familiar with it and more appreciative of it, and now that they can tune in and kind of and watch it? I mean, what's their role, the residents, been in all this?
Well, I think they play an important part, but also so does TV. TV is seen as a fairly powerful communication medium, and people who are watching it maybe are influenced by it or get a lot of information. And I think the Department of Housing see that as a good outlet for residents. I mean, that's their altruistic side. But I guess also they see that they can't keep it down, basically. Right. I mean, this is the right of the people to have access to communication to each other.
Right, well, Tim, just a little story here. On my first night here, when I came in, you had me behind camera one. I said, look, I can't do anything, and you said, I want you to, through the cans, you were saying, can you just focus on these pair of Indian dancers whose hands were waving around? And I've told this story a number of times since, because I'll never forget it. It was being thrown in the deep end. That was just my reaction, but, you know, I got a lot out of it. Would you encourage anyone just off the street? Is it fine for them to kind of come on down? Is it the kind of place it is? Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's the thing about the station, is that people can come in through the door and literally be on camera a few minutes later and experiencing. But it's also another interesting thing about it is people find out a lot about themselves. You know, there might be a lot of people out there who really think, oh, I want to be a director, I want to be a producer, or I want to be something. A lot of wannabes. But you come in here and you get to know what you can do. And it's a very good experience, because often you can find in a lot of the other areas there's things that you can do a lot better and enjoy a lot more.
Excellent. Lastly, Royce, what are your favourite programs? What would you like? What do you enjoy watching? Yeah.
Yes, Minister. That's a repeat. Absolutely Fabulous. That's a repeat. What else? That's about it.
Would you like to see maybe some CTV satires of those types of programs, or it's a different role altogether?
It's a different role, yeah. I'd like to see CTV1 develop its own programming for television.
Right.
I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, but you're talking big stuff then. You're talking about, you know...
What's your most memorable moment from CTV, looking back over the 8 years?
Oh, God. So many of them. I can't remember any of them.
Tim, do you have? Well, I told you this camera work with the Indian dancers was my most memorable moment. It was also my first. Tim, do you have a moment that kind of stands out in your mind?
Oh yes, I do. I remember the rock band that got my instructions wrong when I was directing and turned the music up instead of down, and caused a resident to knock on the door. But that's what the good thing about the station is, interaction.
Yeah. Royce, have you ever seen any disasters like that in your time here?
Many.
Well, I saw that shirt you wore on the Christmas show about 3 years ago, and that's itself. I think on that note, we'll probably end it. Look, thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you all later. Bye for now.
They wouldn't be
be clapping if they knew we were unprepared with it.
We're not unprepared, we're always prepared.
For what?
For Webbed.
Ah, Webbed. The show where we talk about the internet.
It's interactive.
It's...
Watch.
Ow.
Interactive.
You're looking shiny.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm wearing makeup and feeling very feminine. But enough of that. What are we talking about this week?
You always feel feminine.
I said I feel females. Sorry, that's just crude and disgusting. Okay, what are we talking about?
I thought you had something to... We're not going to talk about anything.
We're not.
No.
Yeah. I forgot to download a conversation today.
So he's rams all used up, but there's nothing there.
No, actually, I have something to talk about. Those moments where you try to get onto the internet and it won't let you on. Like, when there's nothing on TV and everyone just decides, I'm going to use the internet. So you keep calling up and you get busy signals and you get modem dropouts, if that's what they're called.
This is a common event.
Which has been happening to me all week.
With some service providers. But not all, luckily. Because a lot of service providers have a lot of lines, so it doesn't matter how many times you try, you'll always get in because they've got heaps of access room.
Who's that you're with? Is it
That
iForm?
would be iForm, www.iform.com.au.
And can you get in?
I have never been refused entry from iForm.
Ah, I should try them.
It would be a good idea. Plug, 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 plug.
Plug. This segment is brought to you by iPhone.
Did you guess? No, actually, I've got something to talk about.
Okay.
Go. The ever rapidly increasing amount of users, and I don't mean drug users.
No, because we don't talk about things like that.
I'm talking about users of the internet.
It's his job. Dermot's
Don't
job.
point because
They
only
can't.
we can see out there.
Ah.
This is
Sorry.
interactivity. Yeah, the ever increasing amount of users on the internet. I think we're up to about a million personal home users at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not including businesses and people who use intranet, meaning like a system which is designed inside a company only, so it doesn't actually go outside to the rest of the world.
But yes.
So yeah, but I think we've got about 1 million personal PC users at the moment, and out of those there's probably 40 or 50% of them connected to the internet, which is huge.
It's a fair bit.
We've got how many?
There's two here.
200,000 registered companies in Australia, yet only 20,000 of them are on the internet, as opposed to if you look at websites in the States, and you find that probably like obviously the percentages are higher because of the population, but you will find that there's probably a lot of the businesses in the States are a lot smarter than the ones here because they're actually on the web, and the percentages are definitely higher.
So if you are in a business and want to get on the net, email us at www. No, you don't email us.
Oh, you can now. Actually, you can email us at webbed@wmp.com.au because we now have a domain.
Oh.
That's news.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, we've got news.
No one tells me anything.
You weren't here last week.
I was, you weren't.
Ah, yeah, that's right. No, we actually have a domain now, which is WMP. We won't go into what that stands for at this stage because it's really not necessary. But that's it. But the email address is webbed@wmp.com.au. For those who are still using the old email address, it's webbed@iform.com.au.
So if you want to get us to design your web page, please.
Sure.
Do.
Glen needs a job. Still.
I am actually unemployed now because I'm no longer a student because I finished my course today.
So he really has a very poor status now.
Yeah, I'm very poor.
Because he used to have an excuse for being poor, which was I'm a student.
Now I'm just unemployed.
So he surfs.
So I surf.
The net.
Because I can't afford a surfboard.
Speaking of surfing the net, Yes. And moving into your other segment a little bit, have you noticed on the end of a lot of TV commercials recently the internet address?
Yes, which actually shows that businesses are increasing.
That's right. People are getting wise.
Yes, getting on the net.
You'll find it on the end of any commercial for Threadbow, threadbow.com, and a lot of movies.
All the movies, yeah.
And recently, I had the good fortune to visit the Austin Powers website.
And how was that?
Entertaining. A little bit ugly, I found, because I'm really not used to those psychedelic 60s kind of things coming out. Although somewhat like the shirts that Justin wears, coming out of a screen. I mean, on Justin they look good, but coming out of a computer screen when you're, you know, bleary-eyed, 4 o'clock in the morning, been sitting on there hacking all night, just can't cope with that 60s thing.
I was with you when we looked up lavalamp.com.
Well, Lava Lamp's another story, and we really
go back to that.
don't. I mean, it's kind of, if we could give that a film forum rating, Lava Lamp gets about a $1. It's really bad.
Okay. And
he caught that. That was contagious. What he just said then was actually contributed to him from our Swedish or Swiss makeup artist this evening.
What I was about to say was I give it a nibble.
A nibble?
I rate things out of nibbles. A nibble.
I think they want you to look over that way.
Hello?
That'd be part of our interactive audience.
Yes, it would be.
Our interactive audience actually give us directions and tell us what to do.
Yes. I believe they want me to look that way now. Could you?
Oh.
Yes. Yes, we're working now. Yes, okay. What were we talking about?
We were on the...
yeah, TV
ads.
TV ads. Yeah, I looked up starwars.com.au when Star Wars was the big thing, like a few months ago.
Do they have an AU address?
Not AU.
AU meaning Australia.
I'm not here with us today. I'm
Starwars.com.
Starwars.com.
Ah, worldwide site.
And I tried looking it up, and it took forever to like load. So I never actually looked at it.
This is an unfortunate problem.
It was an unfortunate problem, which gave Star Wars a bad name.
It's actually experienced on a lot of websites, and the reason is that the designers who put them together put huge graphics on the front page, which makes a website very, very, very slow to download.
And it made me annoyed, and I never actually looked at the website. So.
And that's a common occurrence.
Yes.
It happens to me all the time. If I get a slow website coming down, I immediately cancel the request and go somewhere else, because it's just time's money.
Time's money.
You would know. You got plenty of time and no money.
So if you have a job,
email it to us.
Email me a job. Oh, I wouldn't mind downloading it.
If your job is just on a huge graphic, he'll even wait for it.
I'll wait.
Glen needs
for a while.
Job. You have a job. You're here.
I'm here. I work for the love. The love of my audience. That I must leave now. Because they don't want me on anymore.
Yes, that interactive button's been pushed and it's saying, quit, escape. So until another week of internet activity, we'll say goodbye to you now.
Bye-bye.
Whoever thought that TV and the internet was so dull? I think Glen and Garth are a testament to the fact that both TV and internet are mind-numbing drugs. Please stay clear of such eventualities. It's interesting, the internet. I'm on the internet. Doof is Dead is on the internet. No, I take that back. Spracky, spraci.cia.com.au. Spracky is the Sydney Party Rave and Information Guide, and you get to check out where all the parties are happening and when they're happening, and how much they cost, which is the most important thing. So the internet is useful, but don't spend too much time on it. Something that's more interesting is sex. and you should spend a lot more time producing sex. And producing sex tonight is Dermot and, of course, Caroline on Sexpression. So here they are. Thank you.
Well, welcome. And what a tragic fortnight it's been, with the kangaroo's princess dying and, of course, now being buried. So tell me, Caroline, did you know what was the last thing on Di's mind before she died?
Well, I think she was wondering whether she should, how long it takes to maintain an erection.
No, actually, it was the radiator. The
All right.
radiator was the
Yeah.
last thing on her mind before she died.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
it was
just
actually
understood
pretty
that.
heavy, to tell you the truth. Okay, well, welcome back to Sexpression. It's been a couple of weeks, and normally I have Amanda, but Amanda has run away. And tonight we have Caroline.
Trying to salvage my...
There's nothing to salvage, because Caroline actually started the show with quite an impressive little discussion about sex, love, relationships, and all that lies in between, which we know, of course, as
It's
the
nothing.
ether. Nothing, the ether, same thing really, wouldn't
Yeah,
you
really,
say?
yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Full agreement.
So Caroline and I had a bit of a chat, and tonight we thought we'd do a strategy called a question box, which, because I am a sex educator, and
A very good one.
well,
Yeah.
some schools think yes, some schools think no. One of the things that we do when we go into schools and work with young people about sex is we get them to write down questions, and they give us about 5 minutes to give us an answer. Okay, so everybody writes down questions on the same bit of paper, right? Okay, with a pen or a pencil, and
Alright.
they put them in a little box, and then I sit up the front of the room and I answer them. And tonight we actually thought that we would go through all the questions, well, a selection of some of the questions.
And answer the most pertinent ones to
That's
youth
right.
culture.
That's right. So let's start with the first one. And this is a particularly good one, this one. Can a couple get deliberately pregnant and still be protected?
Well, let's just think about that.
Let's just think about that for a minute. Protected against what? Protected
Well-
against the government?
No, protected against life because, you know, life is tragic.
Life is tragic.
Once again, to quote Sasha Ettinger Epstein, life is a
Good old
sexually transmitted disease.
Sasha.
That's
And the
right,
answer,
Sasha.
of course, is, which Caroline is saying, is that, yes, you can deliberately get pregnant and still be protected. And one of the ways in which you can do this is that if you know your partner, you know what their sexual history is, and you know that you're in a monogamous relationship with them and have been for at least 3 months and have had an AIDS test, because it takes 3 months to get a conclusive result on an AIDS test. Otherwise, you've
Unless
had
your
an
hair
AIDS...
starts falling out.
Of course, one of the symptoms for AIDS, as you, of course, at home well know, is that if people's hair starts falling out,
So
they've
your
got
father
AIDS.
is probably suffering from HIV.
And your mother, that's the reason she's wearing a wig. That's right. Hair loss is not a symptom of AIDS at all. So if you're not in a monogamous relationship, though, hair loss. Yeah. Don't rip your hair out at home and pretend like, oh my God, I've got AIDS. See, I'm ripping my hair
Like
out.
I often pretend I have AIDS. Yeah,
Some
but
people
anyway,
do
yeah.
that.
Gets you out of sex.
Yeah, so if you're not in a monogamous relationship, monogamy relationships or monogamous relationships mean that you're only having sex with one partner. One of the things you can do is you can find out by asking the person. However, of course, if you don't trust them, use a condom and put a little pinprick in the end of it.
Who wants
Then-
to get pregnant anyway?
That's right.
Who wants to ooze like a major piece of birth out of their legs? It's revolting.
They still will probably get pregnant, being the female partner, but you, being the male partner,
Can
will
demand
not.
that they have an abortion.
Well, you can't actually demand it because it's not actually a woman's right to have an abortion.
What?
It's not even her choice. It's actually a doctor's choice.
Yeah, but you know, if you pay the doctor or not.
Shall we move on to the next
Yeah,
question?
probably.
I think so. When you're making out with a girl, is it natural to get, like, an erection? And is it best to, like, conceal the erection or not?
Depends on what the girl looks like. No, like, I'm serious here. Like, you know, if they're pretty.
Like,
You know, if they're really hot, you know, you want to, like, show it as much as possible, you know.
If they're really
Get
hot,
things moving.
take some ice cubes with you and cool them down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and a cold spoon would definitely help you conceal that erection. However, if you don't have one of those handy, you don't actually have to conceal an erection.
Just get the girl to put her mouth.
That, of course, would be oral sex. And if that's the case, if you want oral sex performed on you as a male, then I think all is fair in love and war, and you should be prepared to perform oral sex on the woman to give her pleasure as well. So shall we move on? What happens if you can't sprog? Then you have sex. Is this dangerous?
Well, for the uneducated audience, what is sprog?
Sprog would be semen, cum, the little white fluid that comes from the end of your penis.
Little.
Little.
It's only
Most
about
situations,
how many come out? Like 2?
About 2. No, about
2
actually
cubes?
100 million semen come out in each ejaculation.
See, like, this is what I was trying to allude to, but, you know, couldn't get across properly. Sex is revolting. Like, who wants 100 million things flying around them? Like, you know?
Okay, so how do lesbians have sexual intercourse?
They use a dildo. Oh, sorry.
It depends on what your interpretation of sex is. Sex, for some people, might be cunnilingus, thank you very much, to the side there. Or for others, it might be purely mutual masturbation, heavy petting, kissing, feeling really sexy, you know, rubbing yourself all over, massage oil, things like that. So lesbians, of course, would not be able to penetrate each other because there is no penis. Okay.
But
so
penetration can still occur, of course, because there are other long objects.
the fist being one of them, the feet
the nose
being another, the nose. That nose is always the nose that goes. Grinding. What is?
I read it in Woman's Forum.
Grinding. So grinding your genitals together, like so, yeah. And of course, muff diving.
Parents, make sure that your 3-year-old kids are watching because, you know, eventually they will want to try this.
Caroline.
Yes?
If you've gone like pretty far with a chick, is it worth telling your friends about it?
Oh, of course. Like the
keep it a secret?
only circumstance under which sex should be performed is if a large audience is going to know about it.
Like this one.
Yeah, you know, like, what's the point of having sex? I totally don't believe in privacy.
I hadn't noticed.
What?
Okay, the problem with telling your friends
is that they'll want to fuck her too. Sorry. I apologise.
Well, that of course could be one problem, but of course you might actually want to have this thing like privacy. And part of the thrill and the excitement about having sex with this person might be because of the fact that nobody else knows. Her parents, your parents,
Your grandmother,
your friends.
who's about to have a heart attack.
Provided she knows and you know, then it's okay.
What if she doesn't know? Is that a problem?
That's called rape. Because if she doesn't know, that means that it's rape. Consent is a very important part of sex. That means that everybody has to agree to feeling like they want to have sex. Okay? Consent at the beginning, consent throughout, and consent at the end. That's what it's all about.
But, you know, once they say yes at the beginning, surely that means, you know, like, you know, it's the other person's right, male or female, to, you know, follow it through, isn't it?
Not necessarily, no. The fact is that some people change their mind halfway through. It doesn't feel comfortable. They want to say, no, whoa, back off. This ain't cool anymore. Just get out of here, get your clothes on, and go home. We're keeping you up. And if that happens, stop having sex straight away. Okay?
Otherwise, just bite it off.
Because that's rape.
You all know what we're talking about.
Thank you, Mrs. Bobbitt. So, Carolyn, do you reckon sex is painful for the first time?
Well, as a virgin, I really wouldn't know. But, you know, what my mother has told me, you know, it was really painful. That was because it wasn't a human. She was sorry, sorry, Mum. I mean, sorry, Mum, really? She might watch it. Yeah, no. I can't tell you. Was sex painful for you the first time?
No, not at all.
Emotionally, it was highly draining, but, you know.
And draining and painful?
I don't know. It depends on like how large a tampon you use.
I'd just like to put in at this point that is not necessarily a sexual activity. Inserting a tampon is not necessarily
Are you
sexual.
serious?
I am. I know that might come as a tragic shock to you, but that is serious. Sex can be painful
Well,
for the
what
first
if,
time,
like,
particularly for a young woman. Okay, these are for a
Especially
couple
if
of
they're 6
reasons.
and under.
I don't mean that young. The legal age of consent in this state is 16.
Oh,
okay? So anything beyond that is illegal. Okay, but lots of people have sex under the age of 16.
Yeah.
It can be painful. Yeah, and that's because of the hymen. And the hymen is a thin layer of skin which lies across the opening to the vagina and has little holes in it. And this stretches naturally through life. And during life, what happens is that if you do gymnastics, ride horses, do a whole heap of things, the hymen will naturally stretch and the holes will expand. Of course, during sex, which is penetration sex, it will break and sometimes can tear, and that can be painful for people. But if pain persists, see your doctor.
Pain persists.
Always wanted to say that. How could you ask a guy to have a checkup for AIDS?
Well, basically what you do is you go, look, you look pretty sick. Can you just get a test? Like,
And do you think all people with HIV and AIDS would look sick?
no.
No.
Well, like most human beings on Earth just look sick regardless of their health. So you basically just have to ask everyone.
That's right, particularly when you're looking at the inside of the person.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be too gruesome when you rip them open.
Oh my God, we're being wound up,
Oh yeah, okay, whoops.
Other questions, which we're not going to get to answer tonight, but we might next week, or the week after, or the week after that, will include.
No, we should do like 60 seconds on the end of Sale of the Century.
How does the morning after pill work?
It doesn't.
Works for 3 days after. Is it normal for the penis to get darker during puberty?
Yes, no, it doesn't matter. You're probably a freak anyway.
What does sex feel like?
Crap.
How many methods of sex are there?
None.
Don't let your imagination limit you. Are there different sizes in condoms?
No.
No, there's not, actually. What do you think would happen if they had small, medium, and large? Which ones do you
Everyone
think
would
would
be
sell?
like having theirs fall off.
How long does it take to come? 5, 10, 15, or 20 seconds? That's usually about it. What is inbreeding? What happens if the anus tears? Why can't bisexuals make up their mind what they want to do? My dad touches me. Is that okay?
Yes.
No, it is not okay at all.
It is
and
okay.
many other questions. Remember, whatever you're doing, be safe, be responsible, look after yourself,
And refrain from anything that involves nudity.
and have a good time. See you in a couple of weeks. Good night.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of some sort of humorous question about sex, but I really couldn't think of anything because I don't have any experience with sex and I have no questions about it. Caroline and I have been hanging out quite a bit, and hopefully one day, well, you never know. But oh, and Zena. Oh, what's the difference between a Mercedes and a BMW?
Mercedes are better.
Di would not be seen dead in a BMW. Listen, speaking of sexual activity, this is one option of a sexual position. It's pretty cool. It's pretty Saba, but yeah, I've done that. I swear. That's as close as I've got to sex. No, you can't. But listen, what have we got next? That's the question. Oh, here you are. Woo! Okay, couch pots. Take it away.
Hello and welcome to Couch Pods, Spuds on Seats. I'm Crinkle Cut and you're French Fry.
Okay.
You're basically
I wanted to be pomme noisette.
Pomme noisette.
I wanted to be French today.
French.
Like a French fry, but pomme noisette.
If anything comes out of the deaf Diana Princess of Wales, in
bad jokes. That's what comes out of
you
it.
You got what? Channel 9 showed CNN.
Yeah.
No, Sky TV.
Yeah.
Channel 7 showed the BBC, and on the funeral, Channel 9 showed ITV.
And basically, all I got to say is our newsreaders kick ass when it comes to British newsreaders, because like when it comes to babes, the English have nothing going for them in newsreaders. And they're just ugly. And it's a shame Diana died, because like as I told you earlier in the week, she was the only good-looking royal. Royals are pretty much ugly. And we're getting wound up already. What's he doing? He's standing back there. Oh. And yeah, all the royals are ugly, so they'll be like ugly for a lot more generations to come, unfortunately. And we're going to have to put up with them. Especially at funeral times when they die. Sorry?
That's if they're not all killed.
Look,
yeah, like on
look,
King
I told you
Ralph.
last week. I don't want you talking about that, okay?
Oh yeah, hey, if they all got killed off like King Ralph when they all getting the photo taken. Who's seen the movie King Ralph? That's a funny movie.
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
He's a good actor, that
Funny
John
fat guy. Reminds me of King Beasley.
He does.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what he stands for. I don't care what he's going to say. I'm voting for the fat guy next election.
Yeah.
I'm just going to like put stickers on my car saying if I own a car, I'm voting for the fat guy.
You can stick one on my car.
Yeah, because like Kim Beasley's like fat, so he eats.
Yep.
And
people who eat are cool. So I just turned into Beavis and Butthead. Oh.
What was it? I saw the Melbourne edition of the Footy Show.
Really?
And
With,
I don't know, the Sam Newman, the guy that gets hit by his
I
golf.
saw a bit of that the other day.
Yeah, I don't know, like just Melbourne. I don't know. I think it's the rest of Australia is outstandingly ecstatic that the Swans are out. I just find that really like bad, no unsportsmanlike.
I watched a bit of that show like about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this like 13-year-old girl had wrote a letter to Sam Newman saying how disgusted she was at him. And basically he called her a cretin on air.
A cretin?
A cretin.
Was that bad?
He called her a cretin because she'd misspelt something.
A cretin is isn't that one of those little French wafer things or something? Yeah, for your
crouton.
A crouton.
Crouton.
Isn't a crouton a square block of bread? Dried bread?
Yeah.
Toasted bread.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's in your soup.
Oh, toast, man. Toast kicks ass.
Oh, cheese.
Sweet cheese. Grilled. Oh. The what's called the on Tuesday night I turned on the TV.
You did?
I was like, yeah, for once in my life it wasn't on.
Wow.
Like I was prepared to watch funniest home videos because on Tuesday nights I'm usually eating with my mum.
Hey, it's Saturday.
Yeah, and like I can stand Joe Booth Taylor, the most untalented person ever, to like for half an hour because like there's see you later, Dermot.
See you, Dermot.
The basically I was prepared to put up with it for half an hour because like in between people get hurt. That's really funny.
funny
and
stuff.
But like I was
Animals
having that. Yeah, my mum went out and I was having dinner with my sister, and my sister for some stupid reason was watching Party of Five.
Oh no!
Now, if like Dermot, I think talked about youth suicide. I don't know, a year ago, and he didn't mention Party of Five.
But if you watch it,
oh God, what a depressing show. Basically, hey, what's your name behind camera one?
Melinda.
Yeah.
You weren't here last week. You didn't meet her.
Melinda.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't here.
And that's Rob.
No, I met Rob. Yeah.
Russell.
Russell. That's Erin's mate.
Yeah.
By the way, Party of Five just sucks. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to complain now about Foxtel's movie channel, Showtime.
Yeah?
Terrible, terrible stuff. In the past week, I have seen Broken Angel. Broken Arrow. I've seen it 3 times in the past week, yet I can't remember the title. Yeah, I've seen it 3 times. Every time I sit down to watch TV and switch it to the movie channel, it's on. And I get caught up with the explosions and I watch the whole movie.
You know, I've come to a conclusion. I mean, you can watch your Broken Arrow, your Face Off, your, whatever else you can watch. Yeah, your Con Air, whatever. The best action hero in the world was on Saturday night, City of Fire, Chow Yun Fat. That guy will kick ass. Chow Yun Fat will kick anybody's ass.
And he's in all the best.
Yeah, and he gets like
Hong Kong films.
he's a legend because like
Actually,
he
I
takes
think
bullets.
he's been in every Hong Kong film ever made.
Huh? He's a pedophile.
What?
Chow Yun Fat. He's a legend. Yeah.
Okay, Garth, you're not funny. And
Chow Yun Fat, the star of City on Fire. Hey, can anybody tell me if City on Fire is a John Woo film?
Anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
It is? Alright, okay.
Well, we're informed.
That
now.
was a good show.
It was a movie.
No, well, a movie is a show.
If it's on TV.
The,
Like this thing.
Yeah, the...
Anything will go to air these days, even us. Yeah, sorry.
I was sick all week, and so basically for you guys that aren't sick during the week, you got Humphrey at 9 o'clock, the book place at 9:30.
I'll be watching these from
10
Monday
o'clock,
onwards.
10 o'clock. They cancelled Mully Grubs to give Bert Newton a full 2 hours and a half.
I did that a while ago.
Yeah, which is good because I used to have nightmares about that face on the.
But Bert Newton also can give you nightmares, and I cannot take any more ads for makeup because I've seen so many watching Bert Newton show and shows like that I'm wearing it.
Yeah, I mean, Bert
Look
Newton
at me, people.
Bert Newton can be bad because
terrible.
Like, I bought an ab shaper while I was
Ab
sick.
shape?
I bought a gravity rider. I bought a stepper master.
Stepper master.
A stepper master, and
Wow.
and then basically, I bought shares in the Calico Ritz.
Calico Ritz.
Yeah, you know that's the Calico Ritz.
That's the
will
place
take,
that own shares in.
Take off. Calico Ritz is going to kick ass.
The Calico Ritz.
So we got through the
Parramatta Road, Annandale. What they do there, we do not know.
Okay, we got through the segment, basically, and luckily Justin didn't ask about where I was last week, because nobody should know. And
You mean I wasn't meant to tell?
did you say something on air?
No.
Did you? We got a second. Glen last year gets into an 11-month relationship with a much older woman. In this time, this woman decides that she wants to get pregnant. So Glen, deciding, yeah, all right, she's going to want to have sex a lot, says, yeah, okay, sure, I'm up for that. Glen, like, you know, after 5 months, she's not pregnant, so this woman gets herself tested. It's no problem with her. So Glen goes off to the clinic, to the specialist, to get himself tested.
It's all lies.
Yeah, right. Gets himself tested, so he drags me along for moral support. Actually, just shouted me Macca's, that's all. And then he took me along for moral support, and so while I waited outside, and he went into the room, the private room on his own, and I was outside. Actually, they have porn in the waiting tables as well, which is great. and
But the stuff in the private rooms.
Yeah, in the private rooms. Yeah, apparently you.
But it
you
never
said,
happened.
Yeah. You said I had a video, and then Glen comes out with a cup with a specimen.
It was plaything too, but it never happened.
Yeah, it was like he comes out with a specimen, and by the way, Glen, that was an impressive specimen.
That was 24,000.
Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, he comes out
But it
with a
never
specimen,
happened.
like, you know, the amount that you had in the specimen was pretty good, pretty impressive.
I topped it up with a bit
I
of
shook
water.
your hand, remember? and then what happens? What happens? The nurse comes round and she says, no, what we need is a urine sample. That's all from us. Goodbye. I would teach you to say anything.
It's lies. Lies.
Yeah. Well,
Nice, Justin.
Thank you, Glen and Pablo. Yes, Jeff Buckley. How long ago did he die now? Months ago. It's taken them months, however many months, X months. Finally, Rage is putting on a mini tribute to Jeff Buckley this Friday night with his selection. And then there's a Led Zeppelin special after that. But yeah, also down at Bondi this Sunday is Festival of the Winds, which is a kite flying expose. I'll be down there, but you know, it could be interesting. It could be very interesting indeed. And yes, look, sports is up, and I'm sure you know, kiting is a sport. And Michael, take it away.
Thank you. Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Show. First up, I'd just like to mention the tennis. On Monday morning, Pat Rafter played Greg Rudsky of Britain in the US Men's Open Final in New York, which Pat Rafter won the match 6-3, 6-2, 4-6, 7-5. The 24-year-old Queenslander became the first Australian Grand Slam winner since Pat Cash won Wimbledon in 1988 to win the US Open, and also the first US Open champion since John Newcombe won the event in 1973. He's also the 10th Australian man to claim the crown, of which 16 contestants have won overall. Since Pat Rafter beat Greg Rudsky, his ranking moved down from 13th position to 3rd on the APT rankings. For prize money, he got $850,000 US, and he's made just over $3 million in total prize money. He beat Michael Chang in the semi-final at Flushing Meadow to get into the final. Good luck to Pat Rafter, and he's also moved in the top 4 of the Australian money makers for this year, and he'll get a lot more endorsements and money. And also, I'd just like to mention that's very good for Australian sport, tennis in particular, and he also it adds extra depth because he came back from injury a little while back, and good luck to him and all the best in the future. I'd also just like to mention the AFL. The Western Bulldogs and the Sydney Swans played last Saturday night at the MCG, with the Bulldogs winning the match 18-11, 119 to 12-12, 84. I saw the highlights on the AFL on 7 Sport on the AFL, and the Bulldogs played really well. The Swans didn't look like they were in the match. Their handballing, their kicking, their passing was out, and so the Swans are out of the finals. It's also the second week of the finals, with North Melbourne and the West Coast playing tomorrow at the MCG at 2:30, with North Melbourne 6-1 to win and West Coast 10-1 to win. Also, Adelaide and Geelong play at Football Park at 8:30 on Saturday night, with Adelaide 7-1 and Geelong 5-1 to win. Also, I'd just like to mention next, the Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix is on at Phillip Island on October the 3rd to the 5th, 1997. You'll be able to see 4-time world champion Mick Doohan versus a whole other range of Australians versus other competitors from around the world. General admission tickets are $25, and tickets on race day are $50, and a 3-day package costs $80. Next up, I'd just like to mention women's basketball. Australia beat the US 65-63 in the final of the women's International Invitational Basketball Tournament in Colorado Springs, and that's a great news for Australians women's basketball to beat America. They are the best team in the world, and the Australians have just knocked them off. Also, I'd just like to quickly mention women's boxing. In 1996, there was a featherweight championships bout held in Melbourne with Lady Laura Skinner and Liz Malinowski fighting. The fight went for 2 rounds, and Lady Laura Skinner won the match. I'd also just like to mention that Keith Ellis thinks that ladies boxing will be on the agenda in years to come. It started in 1979 with the Victorian government not standing in the way, but one real important date was December the 13th, 1992, with the Australian Full Contact Federation National Women's Featherweight Championships being held, and at the Village Green Hotel in Melbourne, and the decision is being waded through at the moment with New South Wales Women's Minister for Recreation and Sport, Gabriel Harrison, going through the decision at the moment. So hopefully they'll keep it going. I think not only for women's boxing, but I think all sports, women should be involved in everything, and the blokes shouldn't say no. And also I'd just quickly like to mention last week the Olympics for the year 2004 were contested or whatever, and Greece won the rights to hold the event in Athens. 5 nations or countries competed, consisting of Athens, Rome, and 3 other countries. Greece did get a lot of help from Australia, and they won the bid, and they were they were held in 1896, the first Olympics, so they're going back there, and good luck to Greece. And that's all we have for this week's edition of the Sports Show, so see you next week.
Yeah, and that is sport for the week. Apart from this, the International Origami Championship is down at Darling Harbour this weekend, and yeah, head down there and check out the latest swans and chickens from Japan. But more importantly, Louds, fantastic, huge festival that's going on of youth sound, culture, music, art, performance, whatever you want to call it. If you want to make a short film, please send it in to the guys at Loud. Very easy to find, www.loud. And yeah, the short film has to include something to do with loud. Either include the word loud, or the expression of loud, or simply represent loud. And something that is very loud is Zena, and we're going to join her now. And I'm going to join. Come on, let's go for a little walk here. We're going to go over to Milligram. We're just going to go to Studio 21.
Hi, Justin. G'day.
Oh, g'day. How are you? I got the express elevator.
Yay!
Anyway, here we are.
Welcome to Milligram! Yeah, that's fine. Now, have you seen that Smirnoff ad on TV?
Oh, isn't it great?
Sick. Yeah, it's my favourite ad, but it's actually a movie now.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like,
a movie?
The movie.
A motion picture. And it's, what, how long is it going to go for? I don't know.
I believe it's 103 minutes.
No, it's like really short, and it's only $2 million for 60 seconds. You can see on the big screen.
That seems like a fair deal
vodka.
to me.
I will never drink vodka. It's not going to make me drink more vodka. It's a waste of money.
I don't drink. I don't drink.
You don't drink?
Period.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's a waste of money.
$2 million for a 60-second ad for vodka.
It's a good ad.
It's a good ad.
It's a great ad. It's a wonderful ad. And
in turn, people are going to, maybe not you, maybe not Justin, maybe not myself, maybe not anyone in this damn studio, but the mass of society will go out there and buy more vodka. They'll make profits, and therefore it's not a waste of money. Not to them.
Fair enough.
That's capitalism for you.
It's capitalism, but I'm just pointing out that it's not a waste. It's evil. It's corporate. It shouldn't happen. It's not a waste, though.
No.
Almost. sort of bordering on
What's the opposite of anarchy?
socialism. Because anarchy's
exactly
chaos,
Caroline?
socialism's peace.
Definition, Caroline.
Anyway, I think we've tried to define
Anarchy about 15.
Yeah.
15
every single
every
bloody
week.
But that's what milligram is all about. Now you have a C, D.
D. D.
D.
Yeah,
C.
but
C.
D.
D.
before I talk about that, I want to talk about my magazine.
Right.
Alright, it's good that you can bring
The Rolling Stone magazine. Now, last month they had the 200 best of the best. Is that
In what?
of music?
Okay, good.
That's
You said the best of the best, and I thought
that's ever been produced.
models.
And all the Aussies were pretty pissed off that they, didn't have a Australian best of the best. So this month they made the best of the best of Australian music, the top 100.
We even have a one.
Yes! Australian music is the best and we should all support it.
Sorry.
You can flick through the pages so they can get close up. Starting with Johnny O'Keefe to Silverchair, so everything, totally everything. Easy Beats,
Sunny Boys,
Daddy Cool,
Triffids,
Akadaka, The
Nick
Scientists,
Cave, The Scientists,
Hard Ons,
Kim
The
Salmon's
Clouds,
band, The Scientists.
The Gurge, Spiderbait, Rah Rah. Why were you laughing? Were you laughing about Johnny O'Keefe or Silverchair?
Yeah, Wah
Fair enough. I don't like them, but they still made it.
In Excess,
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie made it.
Kylie
Danny didn't make
Danny
it.
made it.
She did
Can I
not.
say something?
She made it. Look at her. Look at her. She looks great. Absolutely fantastic.
I saw
All
a
plastic and fake. Where's my CD?
That's right. And I think plastic is good.
Okay, so while we've been talking, you've been hearing some weird music. Some drum and bass.
drum
From
and
my
bass.
compilation.
Drum and bass, mate.
Sticking with the program, with Australian music, but more contemporary,
More art.
more art. How would you define drum and bass?
Drums, bass.
There you go.
Basically.
Crap
Do you really want to know?
by Caroline. Yes, I do. I want the professional.
Drum and bass is derived from dub, except it takes out all the little echoey effects.
Like the cymbal.
Like
the cymbal that.
But drum and bass,
The
I
deep
think,
sound.
I think is sort of a combination of acid dub and trip hop. That's my definition.
I disagree.
Right. Well, that's exactly what I wanted. And it's called Force One, a compilation of Australian drum and bass by Mushroom Records. One Movement, who also did Wicked Beat System. The Bondi Band, which are really cool. City band. They're around Bondi. But the song you've been listening to is number 4 by Matt L. Matt.L. And called Raging Skies, and that's just a typical drum and bass. No la-di-da, girls singing and stuff like that.
I think listen to it tonight.
Yeah, you didn't like it. You actually thought it was crap.
I like drum and
it's
bass.
shop music. It's not something you're gonna, drop acid and dance all night. Not that I do anyway.
You can.
The second
Don't let
song
it
I've
stop.
chosen is number 6, called Rekindle, or from.
See, I told you.
Yeah, you did. You
Rekindle.
kept saying it all night, and I'm going, no, it's not on there.
Rekindle, good friend of mine.
And it's called, can't read it. What does that say?
Canned a weapon,
There you go.
obviously.
And, yeah. Oh, sorry. That's the one that's just not the typical drum and bass. The one before wasn't. It was like with saxophone.
Is the
and stuff
Rekindle
like
one
that. Yeah, that's typical drum and bass with no la-di-da. The first one was with saxophone, which was quite nice. Good shop music. Yeah.
I prefer
And-
traditional drum and bass. I've got to say.
Yeah, you need that. But this is good shop music. My boss dropped this off to me around 1 o'clock today in my shop to play it, and everyone loved it. It's not... Yeah, my shop. I work there, so it's my shop. And if you love these people so much, you can get them on email on .com.com.com. And the last song I chose is number 13. That's the longest song. It goes for 7 minutes by Ali Ahmed, and it's called Positronic, and that's probably the hardest drum and bass you'll have there. There's not much you can say on drum and bass except drum and bass, but it's Australian, 100% Aussie mate, so I recommend it. Mate. Drum and bass. Thank you.
Drum and bass.
Drum and bass.
Drum and bass. So that's it for drum and bass, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There's not much you can say.
You're second.
Oh, I'm second. All right. Well,
always lie.
Here I am.
I wonder why that is.
Now I'm feeling a little, say, Robert Smith tonight, with the makeup artist doing a great job on my eyes. The Cure. 17 Seconds. Another classic album from The Cure. Funny thing is about The Cure, I love them. Okay, for starters, I haven't really listened to all the albums thoroughly. And every week that I come here, I listen to another album. And this week happens to be 17 Seconds. And another brilliant album. And every time I listen to a new album, I think it's the best. And this is the best. This is the best album of The Cure. And yeah, I'd like to offer a round of applause to Robert Smith for another fantastic...
Woo!
Now, sorry, he did this back in 1980. So yeah, it was a while ago. But that doesn't mean it's not worthy of applause. Yeah, okay. Now, this has my personal favourite song of all time, which is A Forest by The Cure. And quite honestly, the best song ever. Ever. It's a sort of... Don't listen to this girl. It's the sort of song you get your stereo and you push it past that distortion level and all you get is the type sounds.
So out of all the songs ever written...
Oh, but wait, for the sound...
The superficial laughter is reduced at
No,
number one.
I think this is quite important to say. Mr. Sound Producer, or in this case, Mrs. Sound Producer, that's track number 7. And I forgot to give the track numbers today. So track number 7, A Forest. Yeah, look, I don't think I need to say any more about this.
Last night, I went through all my videos about 2 o'clock in the morning, and from when I was 14, and I had lots and lots of Cure film
special?
clips. No, what was before that? With, who cares? But anyway,
I know.
it had my...
What was before that?
I can't remember. Countdown. That's what the scene was on the end of the film clips. But it had my pictures of you, and he looked so cute in that film clip in the snow. And A Forest, I think that's the one with the dragons and everything.
No, that's
What's that one?
Let me think. No, I want to get this.
Remixes of Closer to You. To me.
Say it again. Which one?
Close to You. Close to You remixes. When they fall down.
Close to Me.
Yeah, the remix. You've not heard the remix?
I've heard it. I've seen the clip. That's the one that came out.
Not long ago.
No.
I've got that on tape.
I just can't remember that track with the dragons and all that.
Never mind.
But hey, look, just quickly, M, which is track 8, another classic track, and number 2 play for today, which is number 2.
Pretty intense lyrics.
Pretty.
I don't know if anyone's listened to the lyrics.
I had listened to them today.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed. I'll tell you what, I was very disappointed about the lyrics. That is,
Why?
17 Seconds, the title track of the album. Terrible. 17 seconds.
Imagine
17 seconds, 17 seconds. And that's basically it. Not very impressive, but all in all, The Cure, 17 Seconds album, classic. Fantastic. That is my review.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Okay, this is probably around the same time as that Cure album. This is a compilation which was put out by a label called Factory Records. It was put out in about 91 when Factory went bust. Okay, I'll read some of the names of the bands out. So I've got nothing else to talk about. Okay, Joy Division, Tunnel Vision.
Joy
probably.
Division's my favourite. I heard
Okay,
that
The
today.
Distractions, The Wake, Stockholm Monsters, Happy Mondays, New Order, The Railway Children, Drury Column, James. So,
When did this come out?
came out in 1991. Came out for about 6 months, and then it wasn't made ever again. So, if you're going to look for it, look hard.
Vintage, very rare.
Yeah, this is The Factory Story, Volume 3. There's 4 volumes in this particular box set, 1979 to 1989.
Bit of history there.
Yeah, at the moment you're probably listening to The Distractions. It's all really, really intelligent new wave pop. That's how I describe it. There's nothing much to read about in here. I thought there was a bit of info that I could have shared with you, but apparently not. Most of it's from about, it's from 79 to 89, as you would have guessed. And
So what song are we listening to now?
oh right, now now we're listening to 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't mean to do that. No, we're listening to the Happy Mondays. I don't like this song at all, so we won't listen to that much longer. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we're listening to the Drury Column. This is a brilliant bass-driven guitar kind of band. This album, which was called, was put out in 1989, and it had the single called Otis. It was sort of like an ode to Otis Redding. It's got a lot of Otis Redding samples in this song, and also, what's that other chick's name? Yeah, I don't know, the mind's gone blank. Janice? Is that what he said? Close, it's someone like that. But keep guessing. It's someone like that, come on.
Sarah?
Someone from the early 80s. But anyway, yeah, this... No, it's someone like that.
Christy?
Forget it. Yeah, notice I haven't swear tonight.
You just did.
I said... Yeah, I was actually, forget about this. I came in a bit late today, so I haven't heard the news. Did Pablo get laid? Anyone?
I forgot about that.
Pablo?
Totally forgot about that.
Did you score a root? No, but I want to know.
Well, that's not necessary.
Okay.
Because all that really mattered was what music was playing when that incident was happening.
Hanson.
And hopefully...
Hey, I appreciate Hanson.
And hopefully it'll be one of the hard-on CD. However, Justin...
Yeah.
What are you reading about?
Sleaze? The Sleazeball 97 is coming up. If you'd like some more information on that, you can of course go to
what
the
date? The 4th?
No, yeah.
Of October 97?
4th of October 1997.
It tells you on the back.
It does
we just read that.
It does Sleazeball 97. And speaking of sleaze, we're going to wrap up.
No, but
Justin.
Speaking of October, please, I must insist.
Okay, but then I want
the
to say
famous Mickey Finn is coming to Australia from England, and apparently, because I'm quite young, I didn't even know this. Mickey Finn has been a leader within the jungle scene, sticking with his passion and contributing throughout drum and bass history from its rise out of rave to its mature genre status of today. So he's like underground hardcore. Did you know this? No. I didn't know this. He didn't know this.
Yeah, that looks pretty underground.
I knew.
That flyer.
Mickey Finn coming out.
And the full colour A2 posters on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
Underground.
Speaking of which, what's
Friday,
happening on the
3rd of
20th?
October, $20.
On the 20th, Doof is dead.
Doof is dead.
211-4709 0419 50 50 22.
337
Sorry.
1354 with a prefix of 9.
Okay, and get a close up of this. I always talk about
website.
lick. Who cares where it's at or when? It's the pictures that count the most. They're explicit pictures. But this week, this month, it's not explicit at all. All it is someone in the field trying to fill themselves up. But you can't even, the last one was much better. There was, you saw it last time. Yeah, so who cares? Lick.
And
Lick it good.
An urban safari.
Like you should.
Urban Safari this Saturday. It's going to be great. A Bell, Sunday Snow, Biz, E, Bass, Bitch, Ming D at the Pavilion, which is on the corner of Goulburn and where is it? Goulburn and Wentworth.
But speaking of something that's really close, close that it's only in about 12 hours.
So close, it's not even funny.
Motion. Hopeless.
So that's one they're online.
Hopeless little pamphlet. See?
What do you mean? I think it's a fantastic pamphlet.
Oh.
Really? Well,
do you want to
look at that.
Do you want us to tell you what happened?
Yeah, very basic.
We'll put it on.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's a little story behind it.
There's a very, very famous person playing there tonight called Nat, N-A-T, Nat. Go there tomorrow, Macquarie Hotel, $10, corner of Wentworth and Goulburn Street. Weren't you just talking about that? Were you talking about that?
No, that can't be the Wentworth.
Yeah, Wentworth Avenue.
Oh, that's a Macquarie Hotel.
Yeah, the Macquarie Hotel. Macquarie Hotel.
Yeah.
Nat, famous Nat.
We were sticking up some posters and we accidentally stuck up some posters over Motion's posters. And yeah, they gave us a call. They were really upset. The thing is, I went and checked it out, and we'd only stuck over 4 of their 232 posters. But that's it. That's it for Milligram. So thank you very much for putting up with us again. Moving back to studio number 32. Next week. Film Forum with Erin again, and the sports show with Michael and Vegans for Christ with Caroline and Milligram with Justin, Zena and Matthew, and Webbed with Glen and Garth. Hold on one second. Yeah. We also have Couch Pots with Pablo and Glen. I'm getting a little active here. Fashion show with Helen. And an interview with... I beg your pardon?
A vampire.
Oh, of course.
That was on Sunday
Yes,
night.
that's correct. An interview with Zena with the segment Get the Picture. Yo. Look, I just got to say, whoever produced these microphone cords, forget it. Go wireless. Okay, very quickly, CTV Ball. Next Thursday night, get your tickets quick, smart. Come and see us now. $15 concession, $25 standard. That's it. That's it. Thank you very much for a great show, a very action-packed, full show. And next week we're going to have one of the best. So thank you and see you next week.